What's up, everybody? Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel here, and today we're going to have a little bit of fun. I'd like to start off by thanking the guys over at Revv. If you don't know about Revv amplification, I will put it down in the description, and you can go over to the website and check out their stuff. So I approached the guys at Revv because I'm a huge fan of Joey Landreth. And I sent him a message and said, hey, how about a little artist pricing, artist help on one of your pedals, because I'm, obviously I do session work and teach a ton of students and all that kind of stuff. And I said, I'd like to help represent your company. And they shot me an email back and said that they would be happy to do that and offer me a little deal. So what they did is they sent me the new Dirt Dog pedal, which is what Joey Landreth used, and he still uses on his pedal board, but he's used on a couple of his albums now. Again, if you don't know who it is, go check it out. Incredible singer, songwriter, slide guitar player. Just the guy's, he's dripping with it as far as talent goes. So I think you'll enjoy their music. So I love his tone. He spends a lot of time dialing in tones. Obviously, I contacted Revv, and they said, yeah, we'll shoot you the Dirt Dog out there. So I've got that pedal. I'll include a picture of it here. That way you can go check it out and get yourself. I'll just go ahead and tell you now, for those of you that want to just kind of skim through the video, go ahead and order this pedal. Get it. I'm going to give you the summary first, all right? Because I know a lot of you will watch some of the playing and stuff, and then you'll move on. But listen, it colors your tone, and it colors your other overdrives and distortions. So if you already have overdrive and distortions, and I do because I have a huge pedal board, and I've spent a lot of money buying other overdrives and distortions. So I'm using the Dirt Dog to color what I'm doing. I'm not necessarily using it as a dedicated overdrive. So do with it what you will, but to me it is more like an enhancer, and somewhat of a buffer in that sense. So let me tell you what I'm running through today. This is, I got both amps set up, my Vintage Sound. Shout out to the guys at Vintage Sound. I've got the Vintage 22 SC. Single channel is what that stands for. And I've got it dialed up. The mids I crank high. I run it the same way that Brent Mason does. I take my trebles and bass down lower, and I crank the mids on this amplifier. And I do keep the bright switch flipped on. So I've got that volume set. I also have my Fender Deluxe Reverb Tone Master behind me, and I've got them set at similar volumes, and I'm going to go between the two of them so that you can hear how the Dirt Dog responds with the solid state or tone print style Fender amp, and the, of course, tube amplifier by Vintage Sound. That way you can hear how it's going to respond with both of those. So first thing I want you to hear, you just heard a second ago, my guitar, that's through the Fender, okay, so that you can see what it sounds like. I'm on the custom built Strat that I did last year. So you can hear that. Here's a little neck position. And a little bridge. So that way you can kind of get an idea of what this amp sounds like by itself. And we'll go ahead and do just a little bit of playing. We'll bring it over to the Vintage Sound. And neck position. I hear a more defined sound coming out of the tube amplifier, as it should be. Let's face it, it costs more than double what the Fender costs, and it should sound that way. But I wanted you to hear it through both the tubes and through that. So let's take a break here and switch some things around. I'm going to start with the first sound of the Dirt Dog. Okay, we're back to the Fender. Here we go. I'm going to give you just a clean sound. Let's turn on the Dirt Dog. My settings right now are 12 o'clock with everything on the Dirt Dog. 12 o'clock, just right out the box, see what it sounds like. I am already able to have such power, and notice that the volume is really not that much louder. It could be, I can turn it up, but I'm trying to keep the volumes the volumes the same on here so that you can really get a taste. So that's through the Fender, and that is the neck position. So let's switch it over. Remember what I said, it colors your tone. Now I don't have any other overdrives going right now because I want you to just hear the Dirt Dog itself. Switch it down, go for a little bit more of a kind of a driving sound. If you know anything about Joey Landreth, you know that his rhythm tracks and other things that he does on his albums are so good, and the tone is so good on there that it carries the song exceptionally well before he even comes in with the fill-ins and lead phrasings and lead guitar solos and stuff. So here's a little bit of that in-series tone that we would get. Oh yeah, you forgot about the bender? So yeah, and you know, listening to Joey's stuff, there's a country flavor to it. So don't think he didn't grow up listening to some good country stuff and country players. That's the G bender kicking in with that. So that's 12 o'clock on everything. Going into the vintage sound. I'm going to switch it back one more time, back to the deluxe, just so you can hear. The deluxe just sounds a little bit more rounded and padded. I don't know. There's a punch, there's a thickness, so I like it. I bet they would sound amazing together. What would you think about that? Yeah, there's a gut sound coming out of the Fender, so I bet if you were to really dial those two in and use the vintage sound with it, that could be incredible. So that's 12 o'clock on everything. So that's an awesome sound. And this, I have a small, what is this room? I'd say it's probably 8 by 7, somewhere along in there. It's one of my teaching rooms that I use here. And so again, I don't have these super loud because again, I'm using a Shure microphone plugged in to my phone there, and so I don't want to overdrive it. And I want you to get more of that feel that you would hear if you were on a phone. Since we listen to so much music these days on our phones instead of listening to it in other ways. So, all right, we're gonna stop with that sound. I'm gonna dial some other things up on the Dirt Dog and show you its next capability. Okay, so for the next sound, what I did with the Dirt Dog is basically I didn't dime it out completely. I probably went to like 8.5 on the knob, on the gain knob. Everything else is still where it was. So I want you to just hear that. Here's once again. That's just clean. Kick in the Dirt Dog by Revv, and so don't think that it can't be just an overdrive, because man, it sounds good. So it definitely has an incredible tone for that. I'm liking the mids and the way they're driving through. Let's listen to that same thing on the bridge pickup on the vintage sound amplifier. Switch them over here. Sorry I didn't have a switcher today. I'm switching back. So anyway, listen to that same thing. Interesting because the tube amplifier is definitely giving a glassier, bright, breaking glass sound more so than the warmth of the Fender amp. So that would need to be dialed in. Remember, guys, this is just, this is R&D today. I don't know much about this pedal. I'm still playing with it as to how it would work best, but I can tell you this, it sounds amazing. And I may run the vintage sound amplifier differently, if I were really doing this and setting it up with my pedal board, but I want you to hear that. Let's go to the neck position while I've got it on the vintage sound. Yeah, like I said, it's pretty glass breaking sound to me. It sounds very much like a small amp, and that's because I only have it on like 3. And I have it attenuated slightly, so that vintage sound gets really, really loud. So I'm not going to do that for the purposes of this video. That cuts though. That is an excellent cut. Once again, I think it'd be amazing to sound the two, to listen to the two together. But I won't do that today. Maybe I'll do another video that has that. So that's with the drive up. Now I'm going to do so. There's a nice knob on this the Dirt Dog that's called Bite, and really the Bite is like a low highs, high mids increase that you're traveling through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit something and let you hear that change. I think I'll go back into the Fender and let you hear it through there. This is a very functional knob and capability of this pedal. So here we go. Here's the neck position. Okay, just let's take the Bite from 12 o'clock and take it over to about 3. More highs, a little more definition. I'm going to take the gain back to 12 o'clock and only let you hear that the bite cranked up probably close to 4 o'clock. People that like the Danny Gatton type sound, even some of Brad Paisley's types of tones where he would use a little bit more of overdrive in it. Man, that is a great sound for the bridge pickup. Let's go back to the neck. Oh yeah. I'm using the Greg Koch Fluence pickups here, the Fishman pickups, and I do not have the boost in. If or I don't have it kicked in. So if I did, these would get a lot dirtier with the output. But I'm on more of the typical single coil sound. I'll show you what I mean by that. You hear that kick up? That's going to be about 3 or 4K additional sound. Very functional pickups. If you got a Strat and you're thinking about doing something with it, I highly recommend these. So anyway, let's do one more sound as we're checking out the Dirt Dog by Revv. All right. For you folks that just want to have it dimed out completely and you want to see what it'll do, I've got more of the humbucker sound on the guitar setup. I've got it cranked over here and you can hear the hum behind me, the shh. That means it's grow your hair time. Let's go into the tube amplifier. I got a feeling it's going to be a little gnarly. Nice. Well, and it didn't disappoint, did it? It was approaching some 80s things going on there with the vintage sound. That's not exactly my tone and how I would typically run something. I guess it would depend on the demand of what I was doing. But I hope you've enjoyed watching a little bit of this. And again, I'm going to close with the same thing I opened with. Go ahead and order the Dirt Dog. It's affordable. It's built like a tank. It has all the functionality that you would want to be able to dial in with whatever your rig is, whether it's tone print, solid state type of thing, or if you're going into tubes. So it has all of that capability in it. Check out some of Revv's other products as well. I'm going to talk to them about some of their other pedals and some of their amps. Also, their online support and the ability to download tones and stuff is cutting edge. They're doing things that a lot of other people are looking at doing but haven't done yet. So they're a leader in that way. So once again, thanks to Revv for sending me this pedal. And it's definitely going to stay on my board. It's not going to just be one that goes over to the side because I like the ability to give the personality to my playing and to my tone. And then try to dial that with other distortions or overdrives and run parallel in that way. That's a great way of just making your guitar sound, you know, heavy and thick and with quality tone sound. I'll close with this. We're approaching this summer. A lot of people they're out traveling and touring and doing all these types of things. If you're interested in lessons, make sure you hit me up. I do virtual lessons, teaching about 35 or 40 lessons a week. Many of those are in person, but there are quite a few that will go to lots more virtual as we approach some of the summer months. So if you're ready to take your playing to another level and learn a little bit more guitar theory, music theory, be sure to message me, and I'll get you information out so that you can get set up and get on the schedule. I am accepting some new students at this time. So thanks for watching. It's always a blessing to get to come on here, and I haven't been on YouTube much lately, but I'm going to try to do more videos this summer and go live on social media as well, and try to take in questions and do kind of a give and take, question and answer with some people. But good things are going on, and I hope things are going well for all of you that are watching this. So thanks for checking it out. Go get yourself a Dirt Dog, and take care, guys.